And to details, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and First Lady Intisar al-Sisi received Britain's Prince Charles and his wife Camilla on Thursday at Al Ittihadiyya Presidential Palace, where the head of state welcomed them, conveyed his greetings to Queen Elizabeth II and expressed Egypt's full support to Britain in confronting terrorism. Later, Charles paid a visit to Al-Azhar Mosque, where he met with Grand Imam Sheikh Ahmed al-Tayyib and took part in an interfaith discussion, while the royal visit included a reception in their honor at the Great Pyramids of Giza and will include a visit to Alexandria on Friday. Nile TV's Ahmed Nader reports.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and Egypt's First Lady Intisar al-Sisi officially welcomed the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall at Al Ittihadiyya Palace. Prince of Wales, Prince Charles, and his wife Camilla Parker, the Duchess of Cornwall, are currently visiting Egypt. The Royal Highness's visit to Egypt is highlighting the country's close relationship with the United Kingdom and provides an opportunity to demonstrate the Egyptian growing commitment to protecting the environment. The UK Embassy had earlier stated that the Prince of Wales's visit comes immediately after the British hosting COP26 and the nomination of Egypt to host the COP27 presidency in 2022. The embassy also said that the Prince has a deep and long-standing interest in those issues and will be taking the opportunity to discuss how to best work together to combat the climate change, noting that the visit will also highlight the cultural heritage preservation and the religious tolerance across the Egyptian society.
We are intensely proud to have with us today the visit of His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales, coming back to Egypt for a third time. And it's a very important visit for all of us. It's a visit to Egypt which marks a time when relations between Egypt and the UK are very warm and very significant. It means a return to a country that he loves. He remembers his visit to Egypt, his first two visits to Egypt, with great happiness.
Prince Charles met with the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, Sheikh Ahmed al-Tayyib, for discussions and dialogue on the religious harmony and the role of faith in preserving the environment. Also during the two-day visit, His Royal Highness met with the craftspeople and the artists, celebrating the traditional crafts and the UK support for preserving the cultural heritage as well as the skills of the artisans at Beit al-Razzaz. To support the Sustainable Markets Initiative that brings together the young entrepreneurs with the major companies from the private sector, the Prince of Wales discussed the opportunities for growing green, innovative business in Egypt. Meanwhile, the Duchess of Cornwall will focus on supporting the women's empowerment through learning more about the stories of the women leaders in Egypt and their efforts to promote the conservation. She will also learn more about how the female heads of households are coming up with ways of supporting themselves and their families. The Royal Highnesses will together attend a UK-Egypt reception to celebrate the bond between the two countries, to be held overlooking the pyramids at the magnificent Giza Plateau. And on the final day of the tour, the Royal Highnesses will visit the ancient city of Alexandria. This is the first foreign visit by Prince Charles outside of the United Kingdom ever since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic worldwide, and the third of its kind for Prince Charles to Egypt, highlighting the bilateral ties between Egypt and the United Kingdom. This is Ahmed Nader reporting for Nile TV International.
Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli followed up the latest developments of different utilities and services at the new administrative capital, paving the way to move employees and experimental operation of the governmental building starting from next month, according to the directives of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. At the meeting, the Prime Minister gave his directives to speed up handing over finished housing units in Badr City for the employees transferred to the administrative capital, as he pointed to the necessity of starting the handling over from next month. The meeting tackled measures of handing over the units in Badr City to the eligible employees moved to the new administrative capital, checking the data according to the age, distance, marital status, the condition of the current residents, and the kind of job to be submitted to the Ministry of Housing. Foreign Minister Sameh Shukri received his Madagascar's counterpart on Thursday. The meeting tackled means to enhance bilateral ties in various domains, in addition to a number of regional and African issues of mutual concern. The two top diplomats reviewed ongoing coordination regarding the upcoming Kumassa summit slotted for the 23rd of November in Egypt. During the summit, Egypt is expected to receive its leadership of the body from Madagascar. Lieutenant General Mohammad Zaki, the General Commander of the Armed Forces, Minister of Defense and Military Production, witnessed the main phase of the Command Center's mobilization project, SAFE-1, which is carried out by the Central Military Command over several days. The phase began with a presentation of the mobilization briefing of the project, where the Minister of Defense engaged in discussions with a number of commanders and officers participating in the project on how they take decisions to face surprising situations during the operations. Zaki praised the superb performance of troops, underlining the keenness of the armed forces on consolidating the combat efficiency of all elements and combat readiness of all units and formations. The commander of the Central Military Zone delivered a speech in which he reiterated keenness of servicemen to reach the highest rates of efficiency and combat readiness in order to be able to carry out their assigned tasks to defend the homeland and its stability. Air and naval joint drills Medusa 11 commenced on Thursday in Greece. The drills, which will last for several days, to be carried out by Egyptian, Greek, Cypriot and Emirati armed forces units, in addition to Jordan as an observer. Egypt's Mistral-class helicopter carrier Gamal Abdel Nasser will take part in the exercises alongside several maritime vessels and multitask aircrafts and marines. The Egyptian and Greek naval forces started the naval drills southeast of the island of Crete. The exercises fall within the framework of exchanging expertise and promoting military cooperation between Egypt and its allies. The Foreign Ministry announced on Thursday Egypt's re-election to the membership of the Executive Council of the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization UNESCO for the period from 2021 till 2025. Foreign Ministry spokesman Ahmad Hafiz hailed Egypt's re-election as an international recognition of Egypt's pivotal and leading role within the United Nations in general and especially UNESCO. Egypt has obtained 130 votes during the elections, which were held within the framework of the organization's General Conference. Head of National Media Authority Hussein Zain participated on Thursday in the 7th meeting of the General Committee for Islamic Countries Radios Union via video conference. During the meeting, Zain stressed the importance of achieving more integration in various fields within the Union's goals and called for boosting cooperation in the production of programs' drama work. Zain also called for developing means of raising awareness for youth and enhancing their moderate Islamic values, as well as intensifying training courses, workshops, lectures and conferences. Also during the meeting, Egypt was chosen as a member in the Union's Executive Council and as the President of the Union's Programs Committee. The Administrative Control Authority organized a model UN convention against corruption among students of the Cairo University. This came within the framework of the goals of the National Strategy for Combating Corruption, linked to raising awareness among youths and deepening their knowledge of anti-corruption related issues. The ACA co-organized the event within the Economic Governance Project affiliated to the USAID. This is the first of a kind event in the Middle East. Egypt is scheduled to host the 9th UN Convention Against Corruption in the Red Sea resort of Sharm el-Sheikh on December 13th till 17th. And to details, Egypt stocks collectively retreated during Thursday trading session affected by sell-offs of Arab and foreign corporations. The benchmark EGX 30 shed more than 1% to reach 11,340 points. Also, the EGX 70, EWI and EGX 100 indices were down by 0.7%. Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli said the state is putting green hydrogen projects among top priorities in its agenda, especially after choosing Egypt to host the next UN Climate Change Conference, COP27. During a meeting to follow up the Suez Canal Economic Zone's vision on localization of the green hydrogen industry, Chief of the Suez Canal Economic Authority, Engineer Yahya Zaki, unveiled that 3 global corporations presented offers to establish green hydrogen projects in Al Sukhna and Eastern Port Said areas. The meeting also reviewed a file on suggested lands to establish the projects and the possibility of establishing the 3 projects in parallel timeline.